Throughout history, people have connected themselves with shared values, attitudes, skills that has created them to be the person that they are today. And this has happened from one generation to the next. These are things that we experience in our everyday lives that we don't realize that we're experiencing, and that has an impact on our values. Even today, if you sit there and you reflect, your family, your friends, your religion, social media, the news, all of this has an impact of how your brain is structured and how you do things in your everyday life. And I will be the first to say, social media definitely has a big impact on that. I read this book called Atomic Habits, and I think that is something that everyone should read. It just shows you how little things in our lives can make the biggest difference, and also like the little things that go on in our lives and things that we do, we don't realize that they're habits that implemented to us through society standards. And at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that all these experiences form our knowledge, it forms our perspectives, and it just goes throughout other aspects of life. I will say that it is truly beautiful. It's really nice to see when you experience other people from other walks of life and seeing how those things have made a change or have made an impact on their lives overall. And just know that through those experiences that we have in life, we're also going to make mistakes. We're not going to know everything. We're not going to do everything perfectly, and we are changing. And I had to realize too for myself that it is okay to change. And you hear it referenced in songs or in movies, and you're just like, no, I know who I am. But as you get older and as you go through life, you are literally changing. All of those experiences are changing you, and they are forming you. And this is why I emphasize so much on creating healthy habits in your life. So if you're like me and you overthink things, or if you fall off, just know it is okay. And this is why I made this video, just to give you some tips and tricks that you can implement into your everyday life that will help you achieve your goals. It will help you, create those healthy habits that you have been desiring to create. And they are very simple things that I didn't realize. I had to learn through trial and error. I call myself having a quarter life crisis, but I just think it's things that we have to experience in life. It's like when I tell my younger niece or nephew, just someone else, like, hey, this and that, but I feel like these are also things that I realized that I had to experience. And I think that's just part of life. We have to experience things, we have to mess up, we have to get up and try again, and that makes us better the next time we try to do it. Or we realize those are just things that aren't for us. I don't want to waste your time. I'm gonna go ahead and notate sections of the video. If you want to watch the entire video, welcome to the journey, welcome to the video. But if you're just here to get one specific thing out of this, and you're just like, I just need to hear this, I just need to know this, so I can get on with my life and just apply this one specific thing, and that's totally fine. I'm gonna do that too, I'm not gonna lie. I will go to a video, and if I'm like, I just need this from this, it's what I need to get value from it, I'm gonna skip right over. So I just wanted to make that easy for you guys, and I'm just really excited that you guys are here with me on this journey, focusing on your health and wellness. Let's go ahead and get into the video. I'm not gonna waste time just ranting because I am a talker. It's 2024. You're now into your New Year's resolutions, whatever those may be. Trust me, I am right there with you. Initially, when I started New Year, I told myself I was going to be hitting the gym all the time. I was going to be doing all these things because I had just gotten over a really bad cold, and it actually almost turned into pneumonia. Thankfully, I went to urgent care the time that I did, and I was able to get my antibiotics, and I was also able to get my medicine that I needed to take care of my body. So with that, I realized that I didn't do exactly what I had planned out to do, and I realized that life does have speed bumps, and that's okay. And at times, I do beat myself up for that too, and I'm quite sure if you're like me, you do that too. But ultimately what it is just your change of focus. So if you're changing your focus, you're realizing the things that you need to prioritize your time to, and it may not be the things that you were able to before. And that could be going out for drinks with friends, that could be eating desserts every single day. And it just starts with forming healthier habits. I'm not saying those things are wrong, all those things are great in moderation. For me personally, I follow the 80-20 aspect of it. 80% of the time, I'm going to be doing things that are helping me improve my health and improve my wellness and improve my body. That way I get more longevity out of life, and also I feel better. And there are some few habits that you probably do already and you're probably not giving yourself enough credit for. If you haven't already, what I want you to do is start by setting small healthy habits. For me, my routine, there's small things, but I feel like it goes a long way once I get through the week or just getting through my day. So for me, I am personally a morning workout person. If I work out in the afternoon or if I work out in the evening, I just feel like I'm not as efficient with getting the progress that I want to get. So I just go ahead and knock that out in the morning. You may not be a morning person, and that's okay. I wasn't always a morning person. I used to be a nighttime gym girl, but as I got older, my sleep schedules changed and it just wasn't for me. Another thing that I did as far as the healthy habit is I started to get more of my water intake. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I have kind of fallen off on my water intake and I need to get back to it. Especially living in Arizona, you have to drink water, and it's approaching the summer and I know I need to drink more. But for me, I noticed trying to keep track of water bottles, I'm just not gonna get my water intake. I have to carry that big old jug around. If you have one, you know what I'm talking about, the 64-ounce one. So I try to drink that, and I try to make sure I get my water intake, because ultimately it's not just to make my skin look better or just because I'm working out or I'm trying to live the gym girl lifestyle. Water has a lot to do with our hydration. It has to do with our internal functions of our systems, and it has to do a lot internally. So I think it's not taught enough of how important water is for your body. For that, I'll probably do another video. Still going through my certification to get licensed and certified in nutrition. I did have a detour. Life brings detours, and back those healthy habits. I can definitely do another video on that, on hydration. I did go over that in my personal training certification. So I do know a little bit about hydration. I know a little bit about that water. Another thing as far as a healthy habit, for me, I decided to go on a binge of not eating meat. I'm not saying because I'm not eating meat, I'm not eating protein. Protein is definitely key, and you have to have protein if you want to see progress in the gym. I don't know how to emphasize this enough. If you're going to the gym and you're not eating enough protein, you're not going to see your muscles grow. It's called protein muscle synthesis, and this is an actual thing. Everything with our bodies is pretty much based on science, and science works with our bodies. Crazy, because our bodies are literally like a system. But I would encourage everyone, if you're trying to go on your health and wellness journey, if you're trying to start these healthy habits, to go ahead and make sure you are getting in your vitamins and you're getting your protein. Well, actually, you just need to be getting your macronutrients, but that's another conversation for another day. But why I say protein is because if you are trying to be on your weight loss journey like myself, or if you're trying to grow muscle, you want to make sure you're prioritizing protein. The reason for this is because if we're working out and we're tearing muscle, that muscle needs to rebuild itself. And the only way for it to do that is to get its essential amino acids. And that is what protein contains. It also helps you stay fuller longer. I am a big carbs person, so I will notice myself getting hungry after I ate some type of carb, some type of bread. It's like, no, this should be filling. And a couple hours later, I'm hungry again. If you eat protein, that is going to increase statiny. Statiny is just basically that feeling of feeling full. So it avoids those additional snacking and things like that that you don't necessarily need to do. So even though those are like more so healthier habits, you also have to have habits that you implement for yourself that are also healthy but that you enjoy. So for me, I'm starting to implement self-care Sundays. So it can be for my mental health, it can be for my physical health, it can be for anything, but I honestly today went for my spiritual health. I went ahead and tried out a church. I actually went by myself, so I was very proud of myself. It was very interesting. I usually don't really do much by myself. It was really nice. I haven't gone to church in a long time, and it's been really hard trying to find a church similar to the one that I used to go to back home in Indiana. It was really nice. I really liked it. Everyone was super friendly, and it was just a good experience. Doing things like that you enjoy, that bring you fulfillment in life, will also help you stick to your other healthy habits, because you're just forming this entire new lifestyle. When I was training people, I would just try to tell them, like, this is not just a thing that you're going to do and you're going to just like see all these results, you're just gonna be done, and then you can go back to doing everything as normal. No. When you're doing this is literally a lifestyle. So this is a fair warning. I didn't realize it. I think I started to realize that as I started to go on my own journey. And then I decided to get certified as a trainer because I wanted to know what my body was doing. I actually sat down with someone and I did a virtual meeting to do training with someone. And I realized during the conversation that the person that I was speaking to go through training with wasn't even certified certified. And I knew just general understanding that all of our bodies are different, and me going by a standardized plan that they do based on their experience wasn't actual educated knowledge that they were applying to me. So I wanted to go ahead and get certified. And honestly, I kind of did the whole personal training thing for selfish reasons because I wanted to improve my health. But as I was learning, I was just like, oh my God, this is just like things that everyone should know. And then I started becoming more conscious and aware when I was in the gym, and I would see people working out, and I'm just like, they're doing something that is really going to hurt their bodies. Like just something simple as like form and like a slight like twinge and like slanting your knees, or like arching your back, or just small things that have a major impact on your progress and also just your overall body's health. So I felt the urgency to go ahead and try to train people, and I realized my training started to fall out personally when I started training other people. I did love the fact that I was helping other people and fulfilling their health and wellness journey, but I realized just for me right now, personal training is not for me. I'm still on my journey of figuring out what I want to do with life. It's my job now, and it's something that I'm grateful for, but I'm just trying to find those things in my life that bring me passion. So that is why I'm doing these videos. So hopefully this brings some type of fulfillment to my life. This is also helping me on my journey because your girl be falling off and I need something to keep me on track, and I think this is going to be the thing. And I'm just excited to share the knowledge that I do have to help other people along the journey, because they're small things and they make the hugest impact. And I didn't realize it. I didn't have anyone to tell me when I started my health and wellness journey like what to do. I had someone to guide me through that. I think the years of going to the gym, I would have saw way more progress. I would have had way more out of it, because my initial goal was to go because I wanted to lose weight. Like, if you're doing your health and wellness journey, I promise you, if your goal is just to lose weight, you're not gonna stick to it. Like, or if it's just to gain weight, you're not gonna stick to it. You have to realize that you are making a change in your lifestyle, and that's the beautiful part about it. And the best part about it to me is actually the process, because me now looking back at pictures, I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally fell off from the holiday season and I lost all that progress I made. But it also made me feel very, you know, empowered, because I was like, I am capable of doing this. I was seeing more results, but I was just being too hard on myself. And I don't know if you guys know, when you go to the gym and you see yourself and it'd be the same outfit you wore a couple weeks ago, but you feel like a completely different person, you just don't like your body that you're in. So that I'm just like, oh my gosh, like my body looks horrible, and it's all this and it's all that. And I hear someone give me a compliment, they're just like, oh, like your arms are really toned, or like you look good. I'm just like, thank you, like I needed that. So I appreciate the encouragement. I also have to realize with this lifestyle, we do have to make sacrifices. So for me, I realized things that I did like is sweets. Like I'm a big sweets person. I realized I had to sacrifice my wine because that is unnecessary with calories, and I'm just not gonna drink a lot, and that turns into sugar. That sugar turns into fat, and then it's just defeating the whole purpose of me going to the gym. So I still have those things. Like I will still have a glass of wine when I want to have a glass of wine, or if I'm going out with the girls, but just don't sit there and drink the whole bottle. Trust me, I will drink some wine. And what I realized too with not drinking and not eating all the sweet things that I love to eat, I realized that it really wasn't serving me. I had to realize and reflect, like, what am I getting out of this? Like, am I just doing this because it's for social purposes, or am I doing this because I actually enjoy this? And I do like to still do those things and have those things, but it wasn't serving me that much of a purpose for me to do it on a continuous basis and to do it all the time and to take away my progress that I was putting into the gym. And I noticed too with my body, with not having like all those sugars and not having all of that wine and alcohol, my body just felt better. And when I do have those things now, my body completely registers that, and it tells me like, this is not it, sis. Like, we need to stay away from this. I realized that too for myself and in my body, and I think as you take out different things from your life, and it may be something different, it may be food, it may be people, it may be just whatever, but if it does not serve you a purpose, think about it, reflect on it, think of it, and just be like, hey, like what are these 3 major things that these are giving to me, and it's bringing fulfillment in my life, whether or not it is. And if it's not, then I think that's a sign that we need to you need to just, you know, push to the side and continue to reflect. And also something you have to realize is that you attract what you put into yourself. So that can be food, that can be people, but you have to find people to put yourself around if you do want to be around other people that are encouraging you to go towards your goals and to accomplish your goals, and not someone that's bringing you down. You have to realize you attract what you put into yourself. Try finding people or groups or classes that encourage you to do the things that you are trying to accomplish. And even try to find people that are doing those things that you inspire to do. Me, I realized too, I have to like take myself off of social media for a while. And I just did a social media detox because I realized I will tend to get very absorbed into social media, and I will start comparing myself, like my life, the things that I have, the things that I do, and then I'll sit there and I'll be complacent while I'm scrolling through, and then I'm just like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad about this. But then at the end of the day, I'm just like, that takes me to put the effort to get up to do those things. So I'm sitting there just reflecting and thinking about things, but it's just like, I'm not watching social media for the purpose of encouragement or inspiration. And I think when you change your focus and you use social media, for example, for that purpose, I think you'll start to implement more things and healthy habits into your life versus putting yourself down and getting discouraged about it. Because if you're following people and it's just not serving you and it's not bringing you peace, or it's not bringing you joy and fulfillment and things that you can apply into your life, then it may be time to take a social media detox. And I'm saying this, I'm recording YouTube videos. I love that you watch the videos because it supports me on this journey and keeps me going. But if it's not serving you right now, go ahead and just unplug yourself. Like, we don't realize how much we are so absorbed into technology. Technology is not even that old. And me growing up, I didn't even have a cell phone. I had like one of those little prepaid phones from the dollar store. Now you see everyone with a phone, you see kids with phones, and it has become a major thing in our life. And I'm not saying technology is not good for us. I am a huge advocate for technology and the evolution of everything, but we also have to realize that we're human, and this is not necessarily natural for us. I notice myself with just like referencing like my phone for no reason. Like, I'll be standing there, I'm just referencing my phone. And you know what? I'm curious. I want you guys to put in the comment section what your screen time is for the day. And you don't have to tell me for the week, because it may be more than, like, you might be spending more of your life on the phone than you are in reality. I noticed for myself, I was very surprised with my screen time. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, I need to be more conscientious of what I'm dedicating my time to. And I know for me, a lot of time will be towards creativity, but even so, like, I just need to be present in the moment. And we all need to learn how to sit back, be present in the moment, and to enjoy time with others, or just enjoy time by yourself in silence. We don't always need a phone, we don't always need a laptop, we don't always need something going on. I think it's good to clear like our minds. Like, at times I will just listen to instrumental music. I will take a like actual music with lyrics. Other than the gym. If I'm in the gym, I need something to keep me going. And I will tell you, Megan Thee Stallion is like #1. Well, her and Beyonce are probably neck and neck, but I need lyrics when I'm working out, just because the beats and I don't know, something about it just gives me that extra drive. But ultimately what I'm trying to say is that it is good to spend time with yourself and to focus on you. And also, taking out those things also improves your mental health. I've noticed how important mental health is, and I didn't realize that until I got older and I started experiencing anxiety and depression and all these things. And we really have to talk and treat our mental health, and it's something that we don't normally talk about, and it's something that a lot of people stray away from. And I'm so happy that today and now, like, it's becoming a societal norm where people can talk about their mental health and it being okay. And I'm just really happy because I realized, out of pursuing my health and wellness journey, how I've noticed my health and my mental health change. I noticed when I work out, my mental health and my headspace is just totally different. And I was going through a very hard time in my life, and I noticed I just turned towards the gym, and all that frustration, all those emotions and all those feelings, I just would let loose at the gym, and I would get so excited to go to the gym. And it makes it even better if you have something that makes you feel good. Like, I will wear an outfit, or I will justify a gym outfit because it makes me feel good. And it's also me being able to be comfortable with myself. And everybody's different. You may find a different outlet that allows you to do that, whether that's like yoga or running or cycling, whatever the case may be. You have to have something to help you focus on your mental health. It is a journey. I have been focusing on my mental, physical, and emotional health, and I will tell you, it's not easy. So if you see someone and you just think they have it figured out, they're either lying or they're a monk. Like, I feel like Buddhists have it figured out, or not Buddhists, but like monks, the people that are very just peaceful, and you know, the bald guys that are always praying and they have those like robes and stuff on, like I think they have something figured out. Like, I remember having a trip when I was in school, and we were talking to one of the monks there, and they were just saying, I forgot what it was, but basically they were saying they didn't need things from the exterior world, or they didn't need peace from the exterior world because they found peace within their own mind. And that's what I ultimately want to get to, because I am an overthinker. I overthink things and it tends to fester in my mind and it becomes unhealthy. So I've had to find outlets to help me, you know, get that energy out. I don't want that negative energy, the negative space in my life. So I have found ways to help me improve that. And something that I've learned and I've started to do is I've had to, you know, separate myself. And it could be separating myself from people or separating myself from environments, but I had to realize I had to put myself in a space and around people that serve me. And I know it can be hard, especially if you have family and friends or children. It can feel very selfish to take the time for yourself and to isolate yourself, but I think ultimately it's healthy. Like, you need time to think about your own thoughts and to process your own thoughts. And when you have so many things just coming from different directions, from people telling you how they would do things, or just people doing other things that don't make you happy or just bother you in some type of way, you have to start grounding yourself within yourself, and you have to be okay with yourself. And I think that just goes for like spending time alone, rather that be going for a walk or just reading or just having a place and a safe space to where you're able to just focus on you. So it can be 5 minutes, it can be 10 minutes. I'm not saying you have to spend a whole day to yourself. That's not what I'm saying. It's probably not even possible for a lot of us. But I'm just saying you have to find some time for yourself. And during that time, try to just clear your mind. Don't even think about the things going out in the outside world. Don't even think about other things that people are doing. Everything will still be there when you get back. You can go ahead and just zone out, zone into yourself, and just find peace within. So that is something that I've started to do personally. I've started to take time to myself. And like I said, I went to church by myself today. When I tell you I would not go to church before by myself, I always had like my church friends growing up, family and people going with me. So it was definitely an experience, and I honestly would recommend it. My sister says she takes herself on movie dates, which I was just like, I need to do that. So I might eventually go ahead and take myself on a movie date so I can, you know, get the popcorn and the candy too. Other thing is, we are all responsible for this, to stop focusing so much on the negatives and focus more on the positives. There are so many blessings that we have in our lives and we don't even realize it. It's a lot of things that I feel that we tend to take for granted. And I realized that when we went out of the country to Belize, and even when we went to Europe, I noticed that we have it really good here in the United States, and we fail to realize that. Like, we have so much opportunity here. I'm not saying there are things that are roadblocks here. It's not going to be perfect. Nowhere is perfect, but we are just so blessed and privileged just to have a roof over our heads, or even being able to have our phones, like to even be able to sit here and watch this video and choose what we want to do in our everyday lives. Like, we have that freedom and we have that ability to do that. So I think getting so caught up on the negatives is not necessary. We have to worry about the actual things that we do have in our lives, and just like having the ability to get up this morning, or having the ability to call our loved ones and being able to talk to them. There are so many blessings that we tend to forget about, and it's easy to, especially when you get absorbed in social media and you see people just highlighting on these positive aspects or these positive parts of their lives. There's nothing wrong with that. That's great that people want to share that, but we have to realize, like, that starts to become like a competition at times. Or sometimes people could be just giving off a front and they just don't show you the actual reality of their lives. And we all are human. None of us are perfect. None of our lives are perfect, and we all go through trials and tribulations. So we just have to worry about things that are in our control and focus on the things that are good around us. Also, I just want to give you guys a note that it is okay to fall off. It is okay to mess up. Don't have expectations for things to be perfect. Don't think you have to have this or you have to have something else in order to get started. I've been there. I've done that. I've said I had to get this camera, I've had to get these clothes, I had to do this before I can start even making videos. And I've started to realize as I've gone through life, I actually just turned 28, so I don't know if I'm just reflecting because I'm approaching 30, but I realized nothing's going to be perfect and we can't expect things to be perfect, but we have to realize the things that we can control. And once we do realize that, we won't focus so much on those things, and we won't be so hard on ourselves. And also realize you are watching this video to create a new version of you. You are in the mindset of creating a new version of you. So why get yourself back into that old mindset or into a negative mindset? And just give yourself grace. Like, I had to realize that too for myself. I didn't give myself enough grace going on my health and wellness journey, and if I fell off or if I ate a brownie, I would be so hard on myself. And I'm just, why can't I have it all? Why can't I just like have these things and still see progress and all those things? But it's okay. Like, life is to be enjoyed. And if you're falling off, it is okay. Just know you have another day tomorrow. And if we were to treat every day like our last, we probably would be doing way more things. But just give yourself grace, be patient with yourself, and just know what your ultimate goal is and try to work towards that. I'm learning for myself to give myself more grace and to have more patience with myself, because I know myself, I'm an overthinker. I'm a Pisces, so I know I'm an emotional one, but it's okay. I'm just learning to be patient with myself and to have more grace and to just allow God to, you know, flow through my life. We have to realize our values and the things that bring us purpose in life and put our foot forward every single day. So it may seem like it's something very small, but we have to realize that we are forming the person that who we are. And you are you, and you're different and you're unique. I'm different, and I am very happy to be different, because if I wasn't, then we would all be the same. And what is the fun in that? Ultimately, what I want to say is just try not to overthink those things. Try to take out some of the stresses that you can't control out of your life, because you stressing over something that is not necessary and it's small and it's not even like helping you pay your bills or making a positive impact on your life, like, that is taking time off of your life. There are scientific studies that proves that stress takes off time of your life. And time goes by too fast for me. I just feel like I was 25 and now I'm 28. So I don't have time to be stressing and to just be giving years away. So I'm going to try to put myself in the most positive headspace. I know there may be days that I'm down, and that is just something that we have to, you know, realize that's part of the process. The beauty of that too is that we're going to come out stronger from it. Give yourself some credit. You clicked on this video, you learned something from this. I hope you learned something from this and took some value out of it. And if you did, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I am planning on posting more frequently to just, you know, give people more insight of things that I do, and hopefully it brings you inspiration, or if you can learn from it. And also, like, I'm learning from you, so make sure things that you know to comment that down in the comment section down below, and also tell me what you want to see, because I'm going to just give out what I think is value, but I need to know what is value to you. But thank you so much for watching this video. I am so excited for you joining the health and wellness journey. There are a lot of us in this space, so I'm very excited that you're joining. I'm just excited that you're taking the time to focus on you and to do something that brings more fulfillment to your life. But like I said, if you're interested in anything regarding health and wellness, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also, like the video. That helps a lot, and it lets me know what you guys want to see. And I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.